Hey guys, so today is day 7 and right now I'm still in my hometown currently. Um this is the position we learned yesterday, right? So in this position, instead of going for attack with knight c3 and then win the d pawn and going for some attack, black pieces simply play king h7, and then bring the king and they just win the game in the end. So today we'll do 4 exercises, right, with the same team. Right, so basically, yeah, you guys already know the team, so I guess it will be quite easy for you to do the exercise. Alright, so this is the first position. So it's black to move, and if you want, you can pause the video. I'll give some second. Alright, so in this position, the move is king e4. Right, so right now you can see white has this very strong passer. Right, he has this very strong passer. Right, so king e4 is the very nice move. So a7 seems natural. Right, just push the passer and try to go rook b8, and then push the pawn. And actually a7 is a blunder. Alright, let's see. So the best move is actually knight f7. The idea is after king f3 and you want to go rook g8. So if it takes the g pawn, okay, you take the pawn, right? So if rook e, so okay, so for example, rook g8, king g4, a7, king h3, now check, right? Takes check because we're threatens checkmate, so you have to go check. Takes, and now okay, king g1, there's no mate, and then black have to give up the rook for the pawn with rook a2, and then it's like a bishop and 2 pawn versus the rook. So maybe white is still holding on. Right, rook e8 is not good because of h4. Right, rook a2 was also possible, but actually h4 is just completely winning. Why? Because of the takes, check, check, and checkmate. So yeah, you have to give up with rook, I guess. So alright. So after knight f7, the best move for black is rook a2. You prevent any rook move because you want to take the a pawn. You simply take the a pawn and you up a pawn, right? And then it's a long game, but you of course black's just better. Right, rook g8 doesn't work because after it takes we defend the g pawn. So let's see. What if a7? And the move is not rook a2. White can simply play knight c6, defends the a pawn, and then just moves his rook, and then he's about to promote. So the move is actually king f3. So what is the idea of king f3? Alright, so rook b8 seems very natural, right? You want to promote your pawn. And now, okay, let's say for instance, if you go rook d2, now actually white has a defense against your checkmate threat with rook b3. Prevent king takes g3 because now your bishop's hanging. And let's say okay, you take the knight, he go rook b8, rook d2, check, and now yeah, seems like there's 2 checkmate threat, but white has this very nice move, rook f3 check, and after takes, and he promote with a check. Right. So the move is actually rook to e2. Well, the idea is to defend the bishop. And if rook b3, we takes. If rook b1, alright, we take. So nothing changed. So let's see. What if he just promote the queen? Right? Seems like, oh, what is just completely winning? He's up a queen, and he even promote with a check. Right? The problem is after king takes g3, there's simply defendless, right, of rook e1 checkmate or rook h2 checkmate. Alright, so yeah, and you do not have any check. You don't have any check, you know. So if you go rook b1 or queen a1, trying to defend rook e1, okay, we go rook h2. Alright, so yeah, basically it's just completely winning. Actually, it's just mate in one. Next move, it's just mate in one. So, right, this is the first example. Let's see the second one. Just give me a second. Alright. Alright, this is the second one. Alright, so that's it. This position. So in this position, black pieces in the real game let the win escape with one f4. Alright. Yeah, and after queen f8, he played bishop d5. Now knight f3 move. And draw in view of bishop takes f3, queen f7, king g4, queen d7, and it's just a draw because of perpetual check. So let's look at other move. c3 is unconvincing because takes and knight b1. Alright, so let's see. If let's say queen d5, you know, if threatens some nasty check, white can just play king e2. Right, d takes d4 is not good because of t. Right, and then if it takes bishop b5, b3 takes d3, and actually black is just better. So, but there's king e2 defense. Now if you go queen e6, okay, he go king d1. If you go queen e5, he go king f1. Now I can't go king d1 because c3. Kick your knight away, and bishop f3 seems a bit annoying, you know, unpleasant for white pieces. So, but simply king f1, actually, white is just totally fine. So, to move here, right, is king g4. And then black is better by bringing his king into the attack. Well, actually, black's not better. I would just say he has more practical chances. Right, he has the most practical chances with the move king g4. So the idea is, let's say you play, well, you know. So let's say you play d takes c4. Okay, king h3 is the idea. Now let's press bishop g2, followed by queen e1 checkmate. King here, queen e1. There's knight f1. So we just go bishop g2. Knight f1, queen e2, and black's winning. Right. Let's say you play queen f8 in this position, trying to prevent king h3 because queen takes h6 check. Right now, we just queen e6, defend a pawn. King g1, king h3, knight f1, bishop g2, and then by breaking through with the queenside pawns, black will be able to remove the queen from f8, right, and conduct a successful mating attack. Alright, so I mean for humans, this is the very nice practical chances for black pieces, very great winning chances, I would say. Alright, and in this position, the engine gives some defense here with f3. Alright, the problem is you can't take because of the takes, queen d2, and actually black is getting checkmate. Now, queen d1 is unstoppable. It's just checkmate. So let's say you go queen, king h3. Right, now you go queen f8. Now the difference, let's say you go queen e6. Right, the only two moves to save the game for white is queen g7 and queen h8. Keep attacking the h6 pawn to kind of tie down this queen, and whatever queen g7 or queen h8, and then black has actually no play because of the f3 pawn. Right, you can't give some check here. So white is actually defending very well. Right, but f3 is actually quite hard to find for a human, so yeah, then why not? You play king g4. You have a very great winning chances here. Right, so this is the second example. Alright, let's move on to the third example. Right, just give me a sec. So um right, just a second. So right, so the solution is white to play. Again, you can pause the video if you want. Right. So this position, right, currently your rook is under attack. So rook c7 is just useless, right, because of knight b6. He defended d5 pawn. So if you go rook a8, you can't go knight b6 because you just take the a pawn, but you have knight e7, right? And well, if you go rook e8, knight f5, counter attack your d4 pawn, or simply rook d7, black has zero problem. So the move here is rook b7. Alright, so with rook b7, right, which is what happened in the game, right, he decided the game with an elegant combination. So let's see. Well, the idea of rook b7 is after here, if you go knight e6, you just takes, king e4, and we just bring our king forward. Right, our king is too active. So knight b6 was playing the game. Right, and now come boom, the brilliant move. Right, look at this. The idea is you're trying to open up the bishop and your rook and trying to exploit the f7 weakness. So if you take with the knight, if you take with the rook here, well, we just take, and again we have an active king. So knight takes d5, king e4. And now the problem is if you go knight b6 and simply rook takes f7, win back the knight. Right, if you go king g8, there's just a discover check. So let's say play knight f6, right? And yeah, instead of g takes f6, king e5 just winning. Attack the rook, right? And yeah, just winning. So yeah, in the game after king e4, knight d7 was played. Takes f5, takes king takes bishop c4, g5, takes sorry f5, bishop e6, g3. Now king f3 is important because if you take the free knight, then g2. Then let's say you set some trap with bishop e8, right? If he promote, then rook f7 check, king g5, then rook g7 check. Right? Unfortunately, there's rook takes d4, and if he takes, he promote with a check. Alright, so king f3 is the move. Knight b6, rook f7 check, check. King h6, well, if you go here, check, check. Knight f7 wins. So king e6. Now we defend our d pawn. Now d5 takes. We're just up 2 pawn and completely winning because of a more active king. Rook b6, b3, d5, and in this position, black resign. Right, so you can see it's a very nice combination, very nice tactic. Alright, so he just exploit the weakness very precise, very accurate. Alright, let's look at the last example. Alright, just give me a minute. So, alright, yeah, here's the position. Alright, so currently, it's 3 pawn versus a knight. So black has 3 pawn, white has a knight, right? And now white threat is right. White intends to go knight b3 to attack the d4 pawn, right? So that means black has to look for counterplay, right? So the move here is king b6. Again, activate your king. Right, the idea is after knight b3, we go king b5, attack the rook. Let's say you go a4. Now, sorry, let's say you go a4. Well, not a5 because of knight b3, or b takes a5. Well, instead we go knight d6. Takes. Now a5 could move. Well, the idea is if it takes now, your a4 pawn fall. So maybe black can save a draw. So after king b6, in the game g4 was played. Right. Yeah. Try to remove the defender, but knight e3 takes, and now knight takes g4. And with three pawn for the knight, black evidently holds the balance, right? So yeah, that's all for today, I guess. Yeah, so that's the 4 um, exercise. So right, so the last 4 example, so the solution in involved the energetic operations with the kings, right? Yeah. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and keep following my road to GM. And that's all for today. Bye, everyone.